So if you look at this particular document, let's study it. This data, we have first people's names here. We have birth date. We have marital status. We have gender. So you might be required to classify or group. You are required to give us annual income based on gender. You are required to give us annual income based on English education. You are required to give us annual income based on English occupation, or even household, owner flag, then number of cars owned, something of that kind. So that's what we can get. We can get from this particular data. We also have something to do with the range here, that is commute distance. So you can be required also to give us maybe number of cars based on commute distance. We have address lines given there. We have, do we have something to do with the city? Let's see. So here, as you can see, we have city. The city is not provided in this data. State province code is not given here. English country region name is not given. So we are required to fill this space. And of course, from which data? From this lookup table. So we need to get some information from the lookup table, use them to fill this data to make it complete. So you've been given two different data sets. Complete this main data. Once you complete it, you should be able to now start making some decisions or analysis here, right? Someone share this Excel, please. G is not having the Excel up to now. Up to this point, someone has not been able to access the document. Up to this point, someone has not been able to access the document. Too bad. Too bad for us. How about now? How about now? Is the volume okay? Is the volume okay? Because how about now? Very low. Wow. Okay. Now, so here, what are we going to use as the identity key? Which item are we going to use as the identity key? Identity key. We have, it must be available in both tables, like here and also this other side. So if I look at it, I'm able to see that this geograph key is unique to each item. This geography key is unique to each item, right? Just check on your network. Good. Now. If you look at these, I want us to use XLOOKUP to fill in the missing figures or data. So equal to XLOOKUP equal to XLOOKUP. Lookup value is that identity key, this one here. All of them are arranged in column B. So that's why we lock B. We place $sign before letter B. So once that is done, we place a comma. Where do I get this lookup value? From the lookup table, from the other worksheet. Remember, they want me now to get lookup array. Where do I get this? From the other table. It is what is joining these two tables. So I'm getting it from this other side, right? That array, remember what you normally say, the moment you hear of the word array, range, it must be fully locked. So we fully lock our array, comma. So what do we want it to return to us? Remember what we are filling here is we want to get city. So what do we want it to return to us? We want it to return to us city. So I'll come here, highlight the all of that, and then you enter. So once that is done, you'll be able to see we have returned city all the way to the last part. You've been able to get the cities. About, so when I come to this other part, when I try to autofill, what do I want to get? State province code. Is that what is highlighted? Let's see. State province code. State province code is found in which column? State province code is in column B. So you'll come here to column B. You will come here, state province code is found in column B. So I just come and place column B to be the return array. So once that is done, you can see it is returning to us the state province code. Somebody is not getting something. Somebody is not getting anything. Repeat on the array. Good. Let's do it here. Let's do it here. Let me do away with this one here. The same concept will apply. So once you understand this, so let's come to state province code equal to X lookup. Remember, our lookup is this first VDA clause. Yes. So X lookup, this one here. Lookup value is this, comma. Lookup array, I can decide to lock if I'm not going to autofill, not to lock. So lookup array, where do I get this from this table? It is here, geography key, which will be fully locked, comma. Return array, I want it to return to me state province code. So this is what I'm expecting it to return to me. It means you have ile ya kitambo. You have ile ya kitambo. When I enter, I'm getting that. I'm getting that. Then about English country region name. The same concept, equal to X lookup. So lookup value, that geography key, comma, lookup array, where do we get it from this, comma. This time we are required to get English country region name. So I come and highlight this, then you enter. If you enter that, you'll be able to see you're autofilling and getting the answers there correctly. Can somebody, why are we fully locking up the array? Why are we fully locking up the array? Remember I said it is like a database. It is like database. Let me explain why we are doing that. For example, I have 100 people, or let's say I have 150 people. This 150 employees for this particular company, I can classify them based on department, right? So I have accounts. I have customer care department. Then maybe we have sales and marketing department. So if I classify these people based on department, I have 10, I have 70, and then I have that's 80, then I have 70, right? If I decide to classify these people based on gender, so that's now based on department. If I want to do it based on gender, I will have male, female. So male here, we have 90. female, we have 60. What is happening here? Total amount here is 150. What am I trying to do? No matter the arrangement pattern you are going to apply for these people, the number will not change, the total number. So that's our database. Everything within the database will not be changed. But what you are going to get from the database is what will vary. At this point, I've decided to classify these people based on department. I have the total number as 150. If I classify these people based on gender, I'm still going to have 150. The number has not reduced, neither has it increased. Right? What if I decide to classify these people again based on marital status? At the end of the day, I'll be able to get total number to be 100 and 150. Now, if I come back to this part, the same thing, I'm going to do it here. So equal to X lookup, Gibson, angalia hii. This is the same formula we are applying all through. So equal to X lookup value, I'll come here and pick geography key, comma. So why am I doing that? If I want to autofill this horizontally, my lookup value will remain constant in column B. That's why I lock this column B. That's why I'm locking column B, comma, lookup value. Then the next thing that's appearing in bold is lookup array. Where do I get geography key from? This other data set or from the database. This is where I'm getting it. That geography key, that column will not change. It is an array. It is database. That's why I fully lock it, comma. Then the next thing that I'm having there, return array. What do I want it to return to me? What are we looking for here? This last column, sales territory key. So I'll come here, sales territory key. Where do I get sales territory key? Where do I get sales territory key? It is here. So I highlight this column, right? It is also an array. So what do I need to do? Anytime I hear of the word array or range, I need to fully lock it. Then you enter. If that is done, you'll be able to see it bringing to you all the sales territory key here. So you've been able to fill this empty space. The 4 items that were missing have been filled. And of course, you are now able to do what? You are now able to analyze this data based on English country region name, based on state territory key, because these were the items that were missing, and you managed to fill the missing space. Are we together up to this point? Are we together? How do we fully lock the arrays? $sign. Unaona penye nimeweka $sign? $sign. F4. When you click on F4, you will be able to introduce $signs on both sides. If you just go to Shift, then 4, on top of 4, there is a $sign. So that's how you do it. That's how you do it. So are we together? 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 Are we? That is method 1. That is method 1. Now, having done this, you can even take this data set too. You can even. Okay, so can I allow you to share your screen now that you're not getting the formula? Let me do it. Let me do the first one here for you. Let me do the first one here for you. So equal to X lookup. Lookup value ndio hii geography key. So just click on that. We are locking column B. Place your $sign there before letter B. Place a comma. Where do I get this geography key? From the other table. That is lookup array. So I will come here. Geography key. Where do I get it? Here is my geography key. The whole of that column is the lookup array. which should be fully locked, comma, return array. What do I want it to return to me? I want it to return to me state province, I mean city. I want it to return to me city. So I come and highlight this city, and that is an array, return array. So it should be fully locked. Then I close the bracket and enter, or just enter. If that is done, when you autofill, you'll be able to see it appearing all the way to the last part. What happens if you don't put the $sign? If you don't put the $sign, when you try to autofill, let me just remove it, then you see what will happen. Let me remove it. Let me remove it. So I've removed the $sign, right? I want to autofill this thing horizontally. Look at what is happening. Remember, my lookup value is in column B. So look at what is happening. Angalia lookup value. Inasema lookup value inapatikana wapi? C2. Do I have lookup value in column C2? No. That's what we've done, Nancy. I don't understand what you are referring to. We've been able to use XLOOKUP to calculate city, state, province, English, country, region, name, and sales territory key. That's what we've done. So if you do that mistake of not putting the $sign, it will also be moving as you autofill it horizontally. Our territory, our lookup value is in column B. When you come to this part, look at where it has moved to. It is now referring to D2. So that's where the problem is. If you don't have XLOOKUP, unatumia ile Excel ya kitambo. You are using ile Excel ya kitambo. Good. That is what you are required to do. We are trying to combine. This space here is empty. This space here is empty. This space, Nancy, this space is empty. No. They're not the same. This space is empty, but you cannot analyze this data without filling this space. Where will you get what we're supposed to use to fill this part? It is in this other table. So what are we required to do? We are required to merge. We are required to merge the two tables. That is, we're dealing with this particular data. When you're going to do bank statement reconciliation, we are reconciling this data. We are reconciling this data. Reconciliation of bank statement, you need to use XLOOKUP, which is an improvement of VLOOKUP. Right? So that's what we've been doing here. Now, that is method 1. I want us to use method 2. I want us to use method 2 to deal with this particular data. Good. So what are we going to do? I believe your document is perfectly saved somewhere. Now, this is what we are going to do. I want you to identify where you've saved your data. That's very important. I want you to identify where you've saved your data. Having identified that, so go to this section of file, then you open an empty workbook. Just open an empty workbook, and I need to share that new empty workbook here. No, this one here. So please confirm whether you're able to see my new workbook here without anything. I'm able to see my workbook here without anything. Morgan, if you check the WhatsApp group where you are, you'll be able to access that document. Good. So when I come to this part, I want us to use the Power Query concept to deal with this data. So what will I do? Come to data, then come to this section of get data. Remember, our document is in Excel format, right? So come to file, then from Excel workbook. Remember, you can also get it from PDF. You can get it from a folder. So if you have bank transactions for the last 36 months, for the last 3 years, you've placed them in one folder. You can actually merge all those data sets into one table or one file or one data. So what are we going to do? I come here. This is the procedure. Go to get data from file. Then you click on Excel workbook. That is what we have. And I believe we are all seeing what is happening. We are all seeing what is going on. So you can see it is loading. It is trying to locate. Repeat, please. Well, okay. Musiva, do you have this empty workbook? Do you have this empty workbook? Do we have this empty workbook? Okay, so go to data, get data, kuja hapa. Go to data, get data from file, from workbook. That's what we are doing. Can you do that? Can you do that? Can you do that, Musiva? Data, get data from file, from Excel. Now, we all know where we saved our data, right? So I know where I saved mine. I just go to this part and get it. This is where I saved my data. So come to this part, import that data. Import that data. Import that data, import it, import it. Good. I believe we are moving together. I believe we are moving together, right? Are we together? I want us to be at this particular point so that as we move forward, we don't have to repeat the same thing. Are we together? 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 Someone is already lost. Mine as data from external sources. Okay. Check that. If you're able to pick Excel, if you're able to pick Excel, watu wameanza kupotea. Let's see. Okay, Timothy, can you share your screen with us? This point. Are we all at this point? Are we all at this point? Good. So what did I say? We want to select more than one table. I will come to this, select multiple items. I mark this other table. Then load it. The moment you manage to load it, so I'm loading my data. I'm trying to create connection between these two tables so that as I do any data analysis, as I try to merge these items, I will be able to see what is there. Let's see. Good. Everything has been loaded. Everything has been loaded. So what do I need to do? I want to combine. Remember, I was trying to fill in the space. For example, our city here is null. It does not have anything. Our state, province, our English country, region name, our sales territory key do not have anything. We need to fill these spaces. And where will we get that data from? We'll be getting them from the lookup. We'll be getting them from the lookup table. We'll be getting them from the lookup table, right? Okay, good. So having done that, we've already created connection. So what we need to do is we want to combine this table. That combination is called merging. We are going to merge the two tables. So what do I need to do? Come to this part, get data, then combine queries. What are we doing? We are merging the table. So come to merge two queries from this workbook. When you click on that, you are able to see it is giving us the option of selecting the table. So the first one, which one will I select? I want to deal with the lookup table. No, challenge table. So challenge table, this is where we have the city column being empty, state, province code, English country, region name, sales territory key. Good. So I bring that to place. Then also come here and bring in the other table called lookup table. What are we trying to do here? We want to merge the two tables so that we get these missing columns. Good. Now, it takes us back to the other question which we had to deal with before doing anything. What is our identity key here? What is our identity key? Somebody is able to remember? What is the identity key? What is the identity key? Geography key, right? Do we have that geography key in these two tables? Yes. So you just come and click on that column, geography key, and then click on this. So by doing that, we are trying to instruct our Excel that geography key is the identity key, is the connector, is the unique code that connects these two tables. Good. Are we together up to this point? Before we do anything, because tukipotea hapa, watu wamepotea sasa. Let's see. Are we together up to this point? What is the difference between VLOOKUP and XLOOKUP? I'm using a version without XLOOKUP. XLOOKUP is summarizing what VLOOKUP could have done, is doing what HLOOKUP could have done, is doing what you could have done using index and match. It is replacing those things. It is replacing those functions. It is the latest developments. Good. Somebody is saying repeat on merging. Please let me undo what I've done. I've said we've already created connections. So I come to get data for the second time. Go to combine queries, then merge. When you get to that point, you come here, select challenge table, the first one. Move down here, select lookup table. Then what do we need to do? The identity key, geography key, geography key. So those two are similar in those two tables. Those are what you're going to use to link the tables. Which bus, I'm lost completely. I think my Excel is fixed. Okay, that's the problem with the Excel. Lazima ukuwe na 2021 ama 365. 2021 ama 365 itakusaidia. Good. Now, having done this, we are loading. We are not transforming. You need to load it. Good. Having done that, confirm it down here. Then you tell me what you're able to see. Confirm it down here. Are we having the same thing? Please look at my screen. Look at what has happened to my screen. Are we having the same thing? Before I proceed, are we having the same thing? Are we having the same thing? Great. Someone please share the document. Okay, somebody's not having the document as at now. Too bad. It has been shared in our WhatsApp group in this meeting. Pia iko kwa LMS. Too bad, but someone will share it again. Someone will share it with you. Too bad for you. Good. So having done that, 2021 itakusaidia 2021. Good. Having done that, as you can see, we are currently seeing what was there in table 1. So we still don't have city, state, province code, English country, region name. So the empty ones will be extracted from what we have here. So are we able to see this part? When you click on this, angalia hapa juu, look at it at the topmost part here. When you click on this, it tells us to expand. We want to expand the merged document. So what are we looking for? Number one, let's see it from this point. What are we looking for? What are we looking for? Tuangalia hapa. City, state, province, code, English, country, region name, and then sales territory key. So those are the items we need to retain. Those are the items we need to retain, right? So state, province, code, right? So the columns that we are going to have as we expand it, geography key is already there. When you bring it, it will be duplicated. So we need to do away with that. State, province, code, that's what we required. State, province, name, country, region, code. Is it English, region, name? Anything else? Anything else? Sales territory key, right? City. There were around 4. Kuna ingine tumeweka for the second time. Good. We can even bring in postal code so long as it's not the same as what you're having the other side. So we'll be able to eliminate the ones that are already existing. Good. Having done that, remember you've indicated this to be expanded the data. We don't want to aggregate it the way it was. So once that is done, there's a question. How do we get the expand? Hapa, kwa hii kona click on this, itakuleta hapa. Ndio hii expand. So we are going to expand it, but now selecting the columns to be retained. The ones to be retained should be marked. The ones to be eliminated should be unmarked. Then when you confirm it, look at what will happen when you confirm it, right? So it is retaining the table, the name of the table, and then the title. Why is it giving us the name of the table? Because a similar column is already existing. A similar title is already existing somewhere here. Are you able to see city here? If you move forward, you'll be able to see we are having city, but it is taking the name of the table. So what are we going to do? These ones are empty, right? So we can now delete. Remember, we are trying to clean this data, right? So we are trying to make this data perfect. We can now do away with this. We are supposed to remove this column. So we remove that city, state, province, code. We remove that column. English, country, region name, we remove it. Then state, territory key, we remove that because we already have them. When we are merging these tables, we did that. So let's look at it. The one that is taking the name of the table is basically telling us that it is already existing. So state, province, we do away with that table name. When you come to this part, state, province, name, we already have that, so do away with that. Then come to country, region here, do away with that, the name of the table. If it has the name of that table, look up table, English, region name, or country, region name. It was already existing. Good. Then we have this postal code. Let's see. If it is still existing, it will be rejecting that. Okay, we have that. Then we have city, which we are looking for. That is already taken care of. Then we have sales territory key. So sales territory key, we do away with that, right? Good. Now, you've been able to see what is happening. Another thing that we have been able to learn, instead of coming here to delete them manually, once you've identified that we need these columns, they're already in the other table. What do? We just delete them and then we merge the two tables without deleting it inside the Power Query manually, right? Good. So having done that, let me take you back to what you are having here. Let me take you back to what you are having. Good. So do we all have this? Do we all have this with us? Do we all have this? Do we have this with us? Do we have this? Do we have this? Somebody? Do we have this? No. Okay. Juliana is not having that. Okay, those who don't have this, can you share your screen for 1 minute? Share your screen, then we see why you are not having that. Good. So having done that, we don't want to just have this default name merge1. No, we want to give it. So this is now real data. We can talk about, we can even give it this name, database, right? So from this database, we want to extract a lot of things. From this database, we want to extract a lot of things, right? Number one, I can decide to extract. So look at the columns. We had somewhere where we had birth date. We can extract years, actually. We can extract years from this data. So what do I need to do? Come to transform. Then I want to extract date from this data. So just come to transform. Just click on this. Then what do I want to do? I want to get year. So when you click on this, you'll be able to see year extracted. From that data, I'm creating another one. I've taken, so birth date, I'm having year. Look at it from this other side. Do we have that birth date somewhere here? Birth date somewhere here. Do we have it anywhere here? Okay, as you can see, I've eliminated date. I'm only remaining with the year of birth. But I don't want to delete that. I just want to extract. I want to just get year and retain that date of birth. So let's come and do that. If you do that, you'll be able to bring back. If you click on this, you'll be able to bring back what you are having here. Somebody saying something. Good. Now, another thing. That's the first thing. So you can decide to come here. You can also extract just the last 4 items, right? You can just extract the last characters. How many are they? 4, right? You can decide to come here. Last characters. Let's see what will happen again. I want you to get something here. When you do that, so we have birth, date. We've eliminated the other items and we are only remaining with the birth date. We don't want to do that again. So those are 2 ways of extracting here. We don't want to do that. What are we going to do? Let's say, so I want to get this one here. Let's come to home. Let's come to home. Pardon, mtu ashapotea already. Too bad. Good. So you want to add, instead of coming to transform, under transform, you only want to extract here from this date, right? And of course, eliminate any other thing. If I want just bring in additional column, come to add column, then I come to date. I want to extract year from this. So look at it. I now have year, which has not interfered with the birth date. Let's look for the birth date. It was somewhere here. I believe it has not been affected. Birth date was somewhere here. Birth date. Yes, it is here. So from this, I've been able to extract year. I can also come and bring in another column. I just come and click on this. What do I want to get from this? Again, I want to get month. Just extract month, and not month in numbers. I want to check the name of each month. So when that is done, you'll be able to see I've managed to extract month from that data. So if you want to look at those who are born in May, you have that. Those who are born in July, you have that. Those who are born in January, you have all that data. So you can even try and get income based on month name. Good. Having done that, Those are some of the things that you can do to this data. Can they read from transform? When? Can you share your screen? Then we see that. Can you share your screen? Marion, are you able to share your screen with us? So we have to record it. Can we record that? Sorry. We have to do that again. We have to do that for the benefit of those who are not here. Good. So I will delete this. Let me delete. Let me delete this. Let me delete this one here. Good. I've said I want us to extract some information from the database without interfering with the database, because every time we want to get something, we'll be coming to the database. So I'm not going to interfere with the database, but I want to get a duplicate. So what do? Right click, then say reference. So I have database 2. I come here, then rename it income by occupation, right? Income by occupation, annual income by occupation. So having done that, I have now this new data. So what do? Look at how this data is going to work out. Just come to transform, then go to this part, group by, transform, merge one. Yes, that merge one, ile ya kwanza tulirename, ile merge one tulirename tukasema inaitwa database. Frederick, rename that merge one to database. Good. Having done that, I want to do advanced. I want to do advanced here. So what do I want to do? We are required to get income by English occupation. So just come here and look for the occupation column. English occupation is here. Then having done that, name of our new column is total. We want to get this word here. Total income. Total income. We want to get the summation. So which column do we want to add? We want to get annual income. Just look for annual income here. Annual income was somewhere here. Yearly. They use the word yearly income. So we want to get the total, the summation. Then you click on OK to confirm. Look at what has happened. So when you want to get total income by occupation, we have professional, manual, clerical, skilled manual, management. This is the total income based on occupation, right? That's total income based on occupation. Then what are we going to do? We can now extract it. You just go to home, then close and load to group by. I want to get a table in a new worksheet. Imagine that huge data has been summarized into this simple item, right? Kindly repeat group by occupation. We are getting back to that point. Wacha tukuja hapa tutafute ingine. So just come to this part, database. Are you able to see this database? Right click, then say reference. Reference. So I've referred to database. It is giving me database 2. What do I want to get? This time around, I want to get income by education. Income by education. Income by education. Income by education. So let's come. Income by education. Income by education. So just rename it. Income by education. So whoever was telling me to repeat on group by, tunakuja hapa, either under home or transform, the two. If you go to transform, this is where we get it. If you are under home, we have it here, group by. Group by is there. So I want to go do advanced. When you take advanced, you can do several things. You can bring in more groups down here, but let's deal with the first one here. So we want to group these by education, right? So we come to English education. That English education, we want to get annual. We want to get annual income or total income. Total income. So total income by education, I want to get the summation. And of course, my interest is yearly income. Good. Having done that, come to this part and say, okay. So I've transformed income by education. What do I need to do? I come to load, close and load to. I want to take it to a new worksheet. I want to take it to a new worksheet. I want to take it to a new worksheet. I want to take it to a new worksheet. Then, okay. Now, why are we interested in all this? Let's look, see, tuko na hii database. Look at what will happen to my database. Tuangalie database hapa. Look at my database. I want to do something. And then you will tell me what is here. I want to bring another occupation for a database. That occupation, we are going to call this one here. Occupation. Let's even just have a name. Let's just have a name, maybe like skilled manual here. Talk about K. Let's talk about semi-skilled. I want you to see how this thing will be automated. Semi-skilled. So once you have semi-skilled, let's just have some income here. Where do we have here? Income here. Yes, this one here. Let's have like 2,000. I don't need to follow all that procedure again. No. What I need to do is very, very simple. Just come to data. Just come to data, then say refresh all. Refresh all. We have by occupation or education, refresh all. Good. We've added something there, semi-skilled. So let's see. Let's see if it will be captured there. Good. Now, if I come to this part, how have you transferred that data to new Excel? Wow. Oh, sasa we were kufanya ile kitu. We said you are to go to this part, then you open a blank worksheet. Before you do anything, you have to open a blank worksheet, then you start doing your workings from that blank worksheet. You will take your data within that blank worksheet. That's what we did. That's what we did. Now, we've summarized this data into that month. I want us to take the last thing here, which will make sense to somebody. I want us to get total income based on, which will enable us again to get, to even pivot. Let's see here. English education, I think we've been able to take care of that. I want us to take based on month, right? Based on month, then you want to look at now the number. How many people, how are you saving in the new worksheet? Oh, let's do one, then we see. So I want us to take based on months, the number of bachelors, the number of professionals here. Then we get the annual income again also based on months, right? So what will I do? I'm going to come to this part. I need to bring in, don't interfere with the database. So come here, then say reference all, and say summary by month, So when you talk about summary by month, so just come here. This summary by month will be, I will come to group data. So we created something based on month. So let's come to advanced, go to month, tutafute month name somewhere here. Yes, month name. What do we want to group based on month name? Number one here is number of professionals here. So we want to count the frequency. So we have occupation. Then I come to this part. Under occupation, I want to count. Which row do I want to count? Occupation, I want to count that. Then come to this part. What do I want to count? I want to count education. I want to count education. We are bringing in another new item here. Then the last one, we want to get total income. This time around, we want to get the summation and of course, yearly income. Good. So once that is done, we come down here and say, okay. So we've created a new one. So July, occupation, we have 85, education 85, 61, 49. So what has happened here? Look at what is happening here. What we've done, the number of people in the month of July, we have 85 people. Education, under education, we have 85. So what has happened? We have not been able to get the right data. So what are we going to do? We just undo that grouping. Then I show you something. So instead of doing that grouping, just come to group by. And the first thing you are going to do under advanced, first of all, bring it based on month name. Number two, bring it based on education. Number three, bring it based on occupation. Then that's when we now get total income. Look at what will be happening here. We want to get summation, then yearly income. So if that is done, look at the new outlook of our data. Good. In the month of July, we have bachelors, we have professionals. The same month. So look at the month of May, bachelors, clerical. So that's occupation, education. That's how you get. That's how you get. Again, another thing, you are able to see December is appearing here. December is appearing here more than once. August, again, it will not be making sense to you. How do we have these things appearing more than once? So what do we do? That grouping is not making sense, but at least you are able to see something. So you come again, you have that option, like it is flexible. You can always do the adjustment and see what is actually someone can interpret and make informed decision out of it. So you want to look at maybe income by month. So just come and group. You come to advanced, you come to month name here. Then you give us total income. You give us the summation, yearly income. So somebody was asking me, once you get to this point, how do we take it to the worksheet? Just go to close and load to. Close and load to. You first of all ensure that it is in table form. Then you click on new worksheet. Then, okay. If that is done, we have the summary on a monthly basis. We have the summary based on education. We have the summary based on occupation. And of course, we all know our database is here with everything. Our database is there with everything. Our database is there with everything. Good. Are we together? Before I show you something, are we together? Are we together? Are we together? Are we together up to this point? Are we together up to this point? Are we together up to this point? That is the procedure of, first of all, the data was not okay, right? You are not able to even understand what is there in the data. So we had some gaps. So the first thing, we filled those gaps. Number two, we were now extracting what was required from this data. The next step, we are going to do the same thing, but now by use of pivot tables. You want to use pivot tables to extract the same things. Actually, even pivot table, pivot chart, and see what we have here. So ensure that you have this database in our worksheet. After filling the gaps, what was the data aligned in the right order? Yes, we filled the gap and deleted the empty columns. We deleted the empty columns. The duplicate columns were actually deleted. Then we created additional columns which were very important to us, like the month, the year, right? That was done. Now, I want us to create pivot charts and pivot tables from the data which we are having here. This one here called database. It is already in a table form. What is the name of our table? Angalia hapa juu. If you just place your cursor on that table, utaona jina ya table iko hapa juu. Table name, database. Table name is called database. So come to insert. I want us to insert two items at the same time. Go to pivot chart, drop down list, then pivot chart and pivot table. Good. If that is done, you'll be able to see what I'm displaying here. Itakuonyesha the table stroke range. Because it has selected the table, it is telling us that it is called table, database. That is the name of our table. So what do I need to do? I just need to confirm. I want to take it to a new worksheet. I want to take it to a new worksheet so that it can be presentable. Good. So I have the chart, I have the table. Now, on this other side, remember the other thing we did? We said we want to get yearly income. We want to distribute yearly income. So you just click on this. We want to distribute this yearly income based on English education. Wow. So this is the table. This is the table. This is the chart. We want to distribute yearly income based on English education. Right? Good. That's what we've been able to do. I want us to bring another thing down here. I want us to bring another thing down here. I want to just to compare based on education. So let me see occupation. No, by education. Sasa tuangalie, let me bring this to you, the other side. We compare. Are we having the same thing? Are we having the same thing? Tuko nayo wapi? Hapa. Good. Let's compare and see. Bachelors 184. Let me put comma style ndio tuone hizi vitu zote. Acha tuweke comma style. Tukuje hapa. Are we having the same thing? 18, 460, 16, 050, 67, 20, 15, 80. Are we having the same thing? Please confirm. My data has got the same thing. How about yours? How about yours? Do we have the same thing? How about this? Good. That's what we have. Now, look at how this thing is powerful. Hiyo hata haijatosha. Tuangalie hapa. I want to change. This chart is not presentable. I want to change to a new chart. So what do I need to do? Come here, design, select, change chart type. That chart is not presentable to me. So I want to look at another chart that will be more presentable. Ukiangalia hapa hivi, at least 2 series of data. So we cannot create that. We cannot use clustered column from that particular selection, right? Then let's come and see here. What about if we use bar? This one is what we are having. Look at what we are having. Look at what we are having. Good. And you say, no, this one is more presentable, or let's use the column. If you use X and Y, will it be okay? No, because you don't have X coordinates and Y coordinates. So we still get back to, or you can even use pi, but will it be okay? The pie chart. If you want to use this other one, will it be okay? If you want to use this other one, will it be okay? Right? So you want to do some analysis or even do this. Let me just pick that one to warning. Good. We now have this one here. We've presented our data in a pie chart. Okay, so we call this analysis. Analysis. Still from the database, I want to draw a pie chart. I mean pivot chart. So I just come to insert, pivot chart, and table. I've selected that existing worksheet. So I just come and select this one here, analysis. I bring it down here. Then okay. My interest is to extract some items. Now I want to get another thing, this time round by month. So I want to get month name. Then I distribute this. I distribute this based on month. What do I want to distribute? Yearly income. Right? Now, this yearly income, I want to put something. Wacha tuongeze kitu watu waone hapa. Now, having done this, the same data set, but now I want us to use something here. Come to database. Tuangalie kitu hapo kwa database. Then you come here and tell us insert. Come and insert this slicer. Come and insert this slicer. What do we want to use this slicer for? We want to use year. Let's look for the year somewhere here. Let's take year. Good. Then you confirm. So I want to take this. I want to take that slicer to analysis. I want to bring it somewhere here. I want to bring it somewhere here. Look at the behavior. Look at the behavior of, let me reduce even the font here. Nataka tuangalie behavior of these two items. That is income by month and then income by English education here. So just click on the year 1924. Look at what is happening. Look at what is happening here. Sorry. Let's just do with this one here. We pick it from this part. You can come to insert. You want to put a slicer, right? So slicer here will be affecting this. I want to put slicer based on year. Year, then okay. Good. So look at what is happening here. When I put 1924, this is what is happening. So only one person is having this 1924. How about 1926? Yes, bachelor's and high school. 1930, we have graduate degree. 1931, bachelor's. 32, graduate degree and high school. 33, bachelor's, graduate degree. 34, graduate degree. 35, this one here. If I want to undo that, you even have the option of selecting like multiple. So come to this pattern, multiple select or multi-select. So I have 2024, 1924, 1935. Right? If I want to select the three of them, if I want to select this one here, so you have that option. You are able to move through this data. You are able to move through this and see how the figures are actually changing. If you want to undo that, you just clear the filters and then you look at what you are having. You can even come and interfere with this based on gender. Watch out to interfere with this based on gender. Come and insert. So this is where CASNEB will be adding to. They give you data and then you analyze. So let's look for gender here. Okay. Now look at the behavior based on gender.